Hello, my name is my name's Larry Rose. I'm 40-year-old father of two boys. I grew up in foster care. Never met my father. My mother is a prostitute, drug addict, drunk. I went on the Ricky Lake show when I was 15 to meet my biological mother. 3 months later, I was shot in the stomach and had all the bones in my face broken, left on my back to bleed to death. I was in a coma for 36 days. Told I'd never walk again. Of course, I proved them wrong. It took a year. I was in the hospital for 9 months and then intense physical therapy for another 12 months after it was over, and 3 reconstructive surgeries on my face to be this beautiful gentleman you see today. I have 5 older sisters that I don't know, but I learned about at 15. I've never met my biological father. I don't even know who he is. I'm just trying to let you get to know at least who the person in front of you is. Not just my name, Larry Rose, but maybe some personal things so you can get to know the person talking. I had all the bones in my face broken. I had my cheekbone was fractured on both sides. My nasal cavity was broken all the way up to just below my crown of my skull. So I had plastic splints put here, here, here. My jaw was wired shut, knocked 4 teeth out, and split my nose all the way up to between my eyes. It went straight up and then crossed over, and there's actually an indent still in my face right here that they weren't able to fix. That's why my eyes are kind of blackened. All the blood vessels in my eyes, the whites of my eyes, all was blood bruised. So it was red, blue, red, red, blue, red. And that was a good 5-6 months of no whites, all red. I had to live, other than the 39 or 36 days I was in a coma. I was swollen to the point that they weren't able to do surgery, so I had to live with my face shattered for, I'm not 100% sure, because all this time I have absolutely no recollection whatsoever. I still have loss of memory from it. I only know what I was told, and I was awake. People don't understand that when you're in a coma, your body, at least this is only true for me, I can't speak for everyone, but in the beginning, the coma was part of the accident. Towards the end, the coma was medically induced, because my last memory, when I was unconscious on the hospital table, I can remember coming, my last memory was me and the girl I was dating at the time, Megan, and my sister at the bar drinking. And then I remember getting upset because I had misplaced my wallet. So I took off by myself walking home and was approached by gentlemen. I don't remember this part. There was somebody sitting at a stop sign 150 yards away, an African American lady that sat and watched the whole assault take place. They hit me in the back of the head with a 2x6, and I got 12 staples in the back of my head. There's a large scar there as well. But I came to and I couldn't move. I was in a coma, and I remember hearing my sister, one of my oldest sisters at the time. I didn't know her that well, but she was out of all of them, she was the one I know the most. And I remember hearing her tell the doctors that, or ask the doctors if I was going to be okay, if I would live, and if my face would be able to be fixed. And again, I don't remember anything. I don't remember it happening. I just remember leaving the bar upset. And then about 22 days after it happened is when I came to, and I guess I started trying to pull the oxygen tubes and pull my IVs, and I started to panic and have real bad, I was going to do damage to myself or nurses or even the doctor. So they drug induced my coma, put me back under, and kept me that way for an additional, I think it was 14 days. And I remember hearing people talk at certain times. Like, I remember coming to, and I could hear, my brain was there, but I couldn't move. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't talk. I couldn't, nothing. I couldn't even breathe. There was a machine, a tube down my throat, and a machine doing the breathing for me. The machine, it doesn't give you enough oxygen that you think you can breathe. It gives you enough oxygen to keep you alive. But being the person under with this thing giving me my oxygen the whole entire time, anytime I was conscious, I felt like I was smothering slowly. I felt like somebody was had a pillow over my face and was not letting me breathe, was giving me just enough air to keep me alive. And if I can, I'll try, and it was like, never letting you take a full breath in. And it was excruciating, and it's something I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't hate anyone that bad, even the people that did it to me. I only know that if making somebody feel like that is the only way I could feel better about this situation, then I'd rather die, because knowing that I did something like that to someone would eat me alive. I mean, my conscience would eat me. I've never been a very attractive man, so for a long time I thought I'd be grotesque. I mean, my God, I'm fucking Brad Pitt compared to what I looked like before. I had a plastic surgeon. The hospital could have fixed me, and they would have actually, but a hospital's job is not to fix you, it's to, or emergency room, let me fix this. An emergency room is not, they're not there to fix you. They're there to make you stable so you can have time to set up an appointment with your specific family care doctor. I was hood. This was a few months before my 16th birthday. I was like, I didn't have a doctor, never even been to the doctor. So, what they did was at the time, I had a mother and a father that adopted me and was taking care of me, that actually had the the gentleman was an older gentleman, had uh, cancer of the throat, so they had to do a tracheotomy and cut his throat out, and they had an ears, nose, and throat specialist do it. And then their biological son had bad ears, so that same ears, nose, and throat specialist did his ears. And why I was in physical therapy and why I was dealing with the other injuries, because I was shot as well, and that was my stomach, and all the way through that was its problem in and of itself. I lost 2 foot of small intestine, a few inches of large intestine. There was appendix and liver damage, and the hole went all the way through, but there was still fragments of bullet inside me, so they had to go in said holes to take out the fragments. And I guess shortly thereafter, while I was still under, the where they took the bullets out got infected, so they had to cut it open wider and then leave it open so it would heal from the inside out. So I literally lived with a hole the size of a $50 in my stomach and a hole the size of a $50 in my back. Every day I would have a nurse come with a 6x6 gauze, 6 inches wide, 6 inches tall, 2 or 3 at a time. They would come, they would take the old ones out, they would douse me with red iodine, soak me in it, soak these 6x6 gauze, probably 3 or 4 6x6 gauze, douse it with iodine, and then shove it into the holes. And then do the same thing for the back, and then bandage me up over said holes. I couldn't lay on my stomach, and I couldn't lay on my back. I could only lay on my sides. And my face was shattered. So it was the worst few years of my life. I thank God that I'm still here. I don't really know what my purpose is yet. I know I have a purpose, a greater purpose. I'm a father. I have an 18-year-old son that is he's a handsome young man. He is just got married. A little too young, I think, but he was in a hurry to grow up, and he was an adult. There was no stopping him. And then I have a 13-year-old son as well. I'm not in his life very much. Me and his mother split up, and she has kept him from me, but I've always put my children, well, I've tried to put my children first. I've been, because of the accident that happened to me, I became addicted to pain pills. They were prescribing me Perk 15s, and getting Perk 15s, I got to where I was doing more than they were prescribing me, so I would buy on the streets, and when I bought on the streets, I couldn't find 15s, so I would buy 30s, and got addicted to 30s, and actually went to my doctor to get a refill of my pain medication, and they drug tested me and found other drugs in my system, cut me off of my pain medication. So at that point, I started buying my pain medications from the streets. I got up to where I was doing 15 to 20 Perk 30s a day. I would sell 10 to 12 to 20, maybe even 50 a day, or more if I could, and take the profits that I would make and buy more pain pills to supply my habit. Now, this is 2, 3, 4, 5 years after the accident, and at this point, I'm full blown addict. Full blown. And I couldn't afford them. I actually moved to Florida during the pain pill epidemic. This is years later. As a way to get cheaper pain pills for lower prices, I moved to Florida, and I used to have 6, 7, 8 people from Ohio that would drive to Florida every month to get their prescriptions from a pain pill farm, and they would give you 280 Perk 30s a month and 90 Xanny bars as a way to sleep off of the pain pills. You could sell them and make a fortune. In Florida, they were worth $5 to $8. Here, they were worth 25 to 30 a pill. Well, they busted all the pain pill farms in Florida, closed them all down, and in a way, I moved back to Cincinnati. Pain pills, the same 30s that I was doing at the time, went up to $40, $50 a piece. Not being able to supply my habit, I had people around me at the time, not necessarily good people, that introduced me to heroin. At first, I only snorted it, and I refused to ever shoot up. I would never do that. Time went on, I started getting to where snorting it wasn't doing it for me, and one thing led to another. I had somebody that only had liquid, and I was sick. I started shooting up and never turned back. At my worst, I was doing 3 grams of fentanyl heroin in my vein every single day. Money, I was getting it any way I could, robbing from Peter to pay Paul. I did things I'm not proud of. Things I thought I'd never do. I've been clean now 8.5 years, and I've never looked back. That's the end of my stories for today. There will be more, many more. If you like it, peace. Have a good day. God bless. Talk again soon. Larry out.